Hello and welcome to Impact Africa, our online TV where we get to have conversations with people and organizations who are impacting lives positively. Yes, this is me, Kemi Akeode Adebayo, aka Mama K. In today's program, we are celebrating South African Women's Month, Part 1. This is a pre-recorded program where I was fortunate to hear the stories of two amazing women. Mrs. Thabang Segaecho, who is the founder of the Sanctum Foundation, which is based in Cape Town, and as well Ms. Zulaiga. She is the principal of Wonderland, Educare, based in Delft, Cape Town. Enjoy. So how did you get into your blogs, the Christian blog that your foundation? When was it started? What do you do and why did you start the foundation?
Let me tell you, Mama K, that just hit me out of nowhere because here I am doing me, living my life, and I'm loving what I do. I enjoy business. I think I'm doing well, And then one day that calling started because in my head, ever since I was a little girl, I wanted to build God a church, right? A physical church. I guess that's why I got married to an architect, because God, I think, was positioning the idea. Hallelujah. But no, I didn't get to build in the physical church. So that desire started coming up again. It was a childhood desire. And from there, I was like, okay, now what can I do? Because I don't have the funds to build a church. And at that time, I had not studied ministry yet. So, but it kept at me, and I was like, how do I do it? How do I build a church? How do I communicate? What can I use? And then I was like, Christian blog. I was like, thank you, God. So the idea dropped, and I ran with it. Did the Christian blog, and the interesting thing is that I had done all my, as far as possible, my holy tours. So I had a lot of pictures that I was taking, just to make sure that it was like part of content, but I wasn't aware. I was content.
You were just going with the flow.
I was just being a tourist, only to find that now I'm going to be pulling from this files, And then I built the thing, and I was like, okay, I don't know from here, but all I know is there's the blog, but I don't know what's next. And one thing led to another where the blog is there, and I'm thinking, okay, how do I go to the people? What can I do? Because the blog you write, and then you put the content out, somebody reads, and you hope and pray that they get ministered to. But then the connection is not the same as going into the communities. And that's where Sanctum came in.
And what have you managed to do up till now?
Okay, so with the foundation, it was pretty much an extension, right, of God's heart because, like I said, with blogging, you blog and that's that, but the interaction is not there, the human interaction is not there. So that came as a spin-off, like an evangelical aspect of God's heart. So it's an extension of God's heart, which is the blog. It came in like months, literally after the blog. And then I was like, okay, we need to register this and everything. So what was happening at the time? We were moving from one home or orphanage or youth center, etc., trying to figure out how we can come in and assist them in what they needed. So they'll be pretty much giving us their list saying, this is what we're busy with, this is the project we're busy with, and this is how we can get involved. And then we would go out and source funding for them or source help in whichever manner and come and add on to what they were already doing. So I thought to myself, well, there are things that I particularly am interested in, which is food aid, which is educational programs, support programs, etc. Now, for me to have that kind of like narrowed down, that's when then the foundation was established. And then from there, I was like, okay, who do I partner with to carry forth these programs? That's why I partnered with the UCCSA Church. They've got about 250 plus churches nationally, and some in Zimbabwe, Swaziland, and Botswana. So I thought, okay, they'll be nice to align with because then that way I can reach the people and still have a steadiness to it, because yes, I'm about feeding, I'm about let's feed those who are hungry, but then beyond that, what is there, so now partnering with the church brings in the word of God aspect, which is what I was also interested in, because the idea is to eradicate poverty, right? Not to nurse it and to manage it, but to get rid of it completely. And me being a Christian and evangelist, I'm like, yeah, come on, Jesus, we can do this, So hence the partnership, and that's how it came about. And then from the Sanctum, then I went to Cape Town TV.
Yes, tell us, how did you get into TV and radio?
I was
with the Africa USA. Come on, tell us the story.
It's interesting how God just puts things together.
Yes.
So because of my side of saying, okay, I want to partner with strategic partners, Cape Town TV had an opportunity where NGOs can be a part of their stable, right? So I then submitted the application on behalf of Sanctum, and then I was invited in for an interview, just like we're doing now. And fast forward, the gentleman said that, would you consider presenting? And I'm like, presenting what? Like, would you care to present? Like, actually, maybe, yeah. But, you know, obviously I'm frightened. I'm thinking, what am I walking into? But I'm like, you know what? I support what Cape Town TV does, what they stand for, and why not? It's good mileage for me. It's good practice. Maybe I might just like it.
Right.
And then I became a presenter. Then I was like, actually, I can get used to this, you know. And then eventually, because of my involvement with certain ideas and projects to do with the Cape Town TV, I was invited to become a board member. So the voting happened. I was like, okay, great, why not, you know? Let's see how this pans out. And as all of that is happening, then I was presented with the opportunity to be part of Africa USA Radio, because the owner had seen me on Facebook doing my teachings and some of the stuff I would share about, you know, the program at Cape Town TV that I was presenting for, and some little snippets, etc. Meanwhile, I didn't know he was watching. So he's like, oh, you know, would you be interested? And I said, yeah.
Why not?
So I'm like, yeah, I don't have a single background on this. I'm not trained for this, right? So I'm just like, let's just jump in. You know, again, as an entrepreneur, everything is risk. So I'm already used to the life of risk. So it wasn't difficult for me to, I was like, figure it out when I get there, you know. That's exactly how it happened.
Right.
So yeah, currently I am with Africa USA Radio. I've got my own show called The Burning Bush. And what I like about my show,
and we will share the details of that at the end.
Yes, what I love about it is I've kept it diverse. You know, we speak about real issues that are affecting real people and how we deal with it, you know, and what does the Bible say about it. So that's basically what it's about. It's not only closed off to let's punt, you know, our brothers and sisters who are in the ministry, but it's about also reaching out to everybody who can add value. We always got something to learn from each other. Organizations like yourself, you know, all sorts of people, you know, I keep it very open, because I do believe that, you know, it's a good platform for someone to come and share that which they are doing, but also for somebody else that's listening to see, you know, rather to find some sort of like value from tuning into the actual station, you know. So yeah, so that's what I'm
what have been some of the challenges that you've experienced? Because I'm sure there's many.
Let me tell you.
But any particular one, you know, that you've had,
absolutely,
and how you've managed to overcome them.
Let me tell you, Mama K, you know, it's one thing to, like, if we're engaging like this, because we can look at each other, but now try and do that and somebody's on the other line and you don't know you can't read anything, you know, you don't know how the conversation is going to flow. So developing that skill of sort of like having a very, you know, like it's almost like something on the side that just has to let you know where you are with the conversation and trust that everything flows. But for me personally was in terms of doing everything at once, because you go in there, you produce your own show, you go out and get your own guests, you know, you have to learn the technicalities of how to work the mixer, how to work the system itself. And without the technical know-how, it becomes difficult, you know. So I had to learn that. And in that, I had to learn in the way how to produce my own show, how to structure the show. But thank God to Mr. G, the head of production, very generous person. So he literally mentors me. Like, I'm one of those people, Mama K, I'm calling him at one. I'm like, Mr. G, I have no idea what this is, you know. But I thank God for him, because, you know, when God throws you into something, he will always provide the support to carry you. So he's been very instrumental in me becoming the presenter that I am today. Not that I'm the cream de la creme, but I have grown exponentially because of the wealth of knowledge he has been able to share. And I was prepared to learn. And he would always tell me, Thabang, you are like my stock. I'm like, Mr. G, what am I supposed to do? Where am I going to get the information from, you know?
What are the key lessons that you can share with us, and we can tell a younger Thabang that will say, okay, you need to do this, you need to do that, you need to do that, and learn from you, you know. So please,
wonderful.
share.
I've had a lot, and some I had
I know, you have to condense it, because I'm sure you can write a book on
on.
Yeah.
But, you know, it has been some that came, I guess, naturally. Some I had to hit my head against the wall and then learn from there. You know, but yeah, just to try and answer your question as best as I can, I have learned to, first and foremost, to be kind with myself, you know, because I'm one of those people with a K where it has to be perfect or else, you know.
I thought I was the only one. We have issues, huh?
Right?
Woo,
So you want everything done to the T. So that would really be something that would steal, I guess, my joy and my peace more often than anything else, because I was so pedantic about the details, you know. And when you are learning something, especially a new skill, or you're going through into a new project, you always have to leave room that things are not always going to be the way that you want, okay? You can't always control everything. But at the same time, so long as you've given us your best shot, then you can rest assured that, you know what, I gave it my 110%. Didn't quite come out the way that I want, but hey, tomorrow is another day, let me try again. So I had to move from that space of beating myself up to be saying, it's okay, tomorrow is another day. What did I not do right? Let me just do inventory, take stock of where I could have improved. You know, what else do I need to do better? And reach out to people who know better, you know. In most cases, entrepreneurs sometimes get caught up in the space where they think they've got it all worked out. No, you've got nothing worked out. Trust me, you know. But if you don't ask, nobody's gonna know that you need help in that regard, because you're not saying it. So pride gotta go. Because you have to humble yourself and be willing to learn, be willing to be corrected, you know, and don't take it in a negative way. Use it to build yourself up in a productive manner. So receive criticism, but understand it's coming from a place of growing you and maturing you in what you are wanting to do. So and again, that speaks to interpersonal skills, which are very important, because in the industry we are in, we deal with different kinds of personalities around the clock, you know. So emotional intelligence is important, but you also need to be that person where people feel like you are approachable, they know what you stand for, right? But you need to be a people's person, if I put it that way. Not that people are going to walk all over you, but you need to have that approachable warmth, that warm spirit that invites people in, because the more people are feeling comfortable with you, the more open and relaxed they become, and they're willing to share more. I've had to be more disciplined now, because now you're wearing different hats and you need to allocate yourself to your tasks. It's like managing yourself in different roles, because the hat that I wear as Sanctum is different from the hat that I wear as a presenter, from the hat that I wear as somebody teaching the Bible or on the pulpit, you know, at church, because I also preach.
Oh, you do?
I do preach. I had a word that I had to share during Easter Friday as well. So I do preach at church. I'm involved in women ministry full time as well. So with all of those multi disciplines, you have to know, you have your wits about you, you know, and understand in which role you are operating according to what you are doing, you know. And again, I'm a mom, so with the mom I had to learn patience. Oh, Mama K, which is my struggle.
How old are your children?
8 and 6.
So patience.
Let me tell you, patience. Woo, which is something I naturally struggle with. But thank God for my kids, because I think God gave me my kids who are very demanding, and it's like they are trained to test me in that, you know.
Obviously, you have a lot of things you're passionate about, and you work on in terms of social issues, from poverty to, you know, women issues and gender issues. Is there anything else, you know, that speaks to you personally in terms of a social issue, and what are the solutions, you know, to them, to that issue in particular?
Mama K, you know, of late, it's always been something in the back of my mind, but I do believe that the amount or the level of suicides that are occurring on a day-to-day basis in the country of South Africa, in Africa, in the globe at large, they're actually very alarming. And this is actually it's almost like it's an indication, you know, of rooted issues that we are not addressing as a global village, if I should put it that way. So I do believe one of the aspects that doesn't do justice to a certain extent in terms of the levels of suicide or people being led to commit suicide is definitely social media. I do give talks on this because I'm very passionate about it when it comes to young girls in particular, but also young boys, because, you know, if it's not approached appropriately and it's not used not used in a productive manner, it's going to be counterproductive. So I always tell anybody that whose job requires for them to be in that space, to approach it in such a way that it needs to work for them and not for it to damage them, because it can have the opposite effect. Find out why are you on social media to begin with. Do you even need to be there? You understand what I'm saying? Because it is a tool. It's a marketing tool. These guys are in business, right? They are all about making the money. So if people are dying in the process, we can't hold them accountable for that. But it's my responsibility and, you know, yours as community members to find out where can we come in aiding, especially the youth, you know, in terms of empowering them and giving them the knowledge of what to do and what not to do when it comes into that technology.
The name Wonderland, how did the name come about?
The name was, I wanted if children come, they must feel happy, they must feel excited. If they come, they must feel this is my home. This is a safe haven for me. And that's why I came up with Wonderland. A lot of people thought Wonderland, the games place. I said, no, I want the children to, if they come, it must be a place of fun for them. That's where I started with my name.
What an awesome name then. So, how many children do you have roughly, and what age range? You know, the youngest and the oldest.
The total we have now, it's 20. Okay. We have 20 children. The age group is from 3 to 5 years old. We have,
3 to 5 years old. And I'm sure they come with their own characteristics.
Yes.
So tell me, what are your values, you know, in terms of for the school and your mission?
I just want, if we start something, we as practitioners must work on something good. And if our children leave here, they must leave with the foundation of them must be laid properly. So if they go to the new environment, to the school, bigger impact, they must be comfortable into leaving. And our mission is to work hard with our children, to always let them feel at home, loved, and let them also be educated in the time when they are here.
Long staying.
Yeah.
You must be doing something really, really right.
Yes.
Well, you're very calm yourself anyway, so I could sense that. But if you're working with three to five, I don't envy. So what sort of activities do you do with the children?
We do different. We work on a program, the NALS program, that was given from us from trainings and things that we went to stimulate the children more. Even where we take tips from where we study, like I studied at Northling College. Right. And so we always, what we learn there, we come here and we let it happen here. We implement it at our center. And so the programs we go on, we do themes. We go on themes, like our theme that we're doing for this week is Easter. Okay. So there we go on, we're learning them the importance of Easter. It's not about just goodie bags and all those things.
And the Easter egg.
Yes. And we would ask our Muslim parents, is it fine if we can do those? Because we have different religions.
So you have different faiths.
So at the end of the day, we need to learn. We need them to respect each other also when it comes to their different cultures, religions, and all those things. So now they will say, no, it's fine. And then we would learn them what Jesus Christ sacrificed for you guys, for all of us. We would learn them those things so they can know the importance of this week coming now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Awesome. So do you teach them Afrikaans?
Yes.
You teach them local language?
They learn
Okay.
Afrikaans, they learn English. We're still coming to isiXhosa
I was
because
just going to say.
yes, because we had 2 learners here already. That was probably 4 years back. We had 2 learners that was isiXhosa, but they could speak English.
Right.
Yeah, but they didn't understand Afrikaans that well. And then they actually learned us.
Okay.
And then I was all the time with my phone, Googling the words and
yeah.
things. And that is where we started with the number names, and then we made it Afrikaans and English and isiXhosa.
Awesome.
So if they say it up so that they don't feel out, we always tell them, don't be shy or anything. You can bring your culture out. You can speak to us about your culture.
So you try as much to be inclusive.
Yes,
in terms of faith.
We need to be inclusive. We need to be inclusive.
What has been some of your challenge, that you've had, and how have you managed to overcome them?
Our challenges we have at our ECD center is a lot of times parents can't afford to pay our school fees. And sometimes we do understand, but at the end of the day, that is our salary also. And that is also to keep the center going. And there's a lot of organizations that don't reach out to us, like the government, things like that. That is a lot of challenges we're going through.
Right.
And sometimes I look at, okay, you guys are in Roosendaal, there is not so a great need. And then they will look at more in the underprivileged community, then they will get more than what we will receive because you guys can still cope. It's like almost like we seeing it like that. Like, no, you guys are not that underprivileged.
But
so
it is, the area is.
yeah, but because our how can I say, they scale us.
So in terms of you're not as bad as.
Yes. So you guys can still cope because a lot of us from Roosendaal, Voorburg and those areas, it's like we work hard towards getting things. We will pay out of our own pocket to get things, to get the equipment that we need in our ECD center so that the learning can go on. Where others get it just so as a donation, where we need to work hard. And there's a lot of times when we have to take from our own family's income and put it into our ECD as well. That is a lot of our challenges where we have when it comes to running this business as well.
Wow, that must be tough.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, you must be finding ways to appeal to parents to make it a priority in terms of affordability, because like you said, you have to pay your bills, you have to pay the people, So what are you doing to try to let parents know the value of what they're doing?
We started my center, we started like a year program.
Okay.
And so a planning where parents know when is what, and then we ask parents to give their full support because we are very open to our parents, especially when it comes to our board as well. Our board will inform them to tell the parents we are on a state where we don't have any income in our account. So we need to have a fundraising to do something.
Okay.
And as we explain to parents, we are here every day. There is not one day when we will stay out to be here for your children. So we just ask parents to just consider us also at the end of the day, because that what they are paying is our income for our families as well.
So do they pay fees monthly or weekly? Monthly.
Okay. And our fees is not that much.
I'm sure it's not.
If we have family of 2 children here, they only pay 500 each. And we have the half
so you
day.
give discount?
Yes.
For people who have more than?
Yes. We give 300 rand discount on if you have the 2 children here. And then it is like if parents can't afford to pay the 600 rand for the month, and then we tell them, okay, there's a half day where you can pay 450.
Right.
Yes, so your child can just get that education in. And that's also a big hole in our pocket, because at the end of the day, I need to pay people that needs to be paid. So, But yeah,
But
God
you're
is
trying-
with us.
Exactly.
That is
you're
our
trying your
passion.
best to continue to make it
And what
affordable.
makes our job so wonderful, because it's our passion. If we know there's a loss this month, my teachers that I work with, they would understand.
Right.
But I will always try my best to sort them out first, because we say by doing this job you need to have a passion also. It can't just go about money.
Yes.
We need to do it for the little ones.
Yeah. Wow. Well done. So let me go on to, those are the challenges and how you're handling them. What are you mostly proud of? You know, you've been running this for, a long time. For you, what are you mostly proud of?
What I'm mostly proud of, if they leave here and they come to school, and if I'm on the SGB on school as well,
Okay.
and we have the diploma night, and I see all my little ones on the stage, that makes me very proud, because that shows me they got good education here.
The foundation.
And the foundation
which is
was
what you're
laid
giving
properly. And what also makes me very proud of what I'm doing is, if they come in the morning with that broad smile, no one is crying, everyone is happy to see us. If they're at home, school holidays, and they will send me voice notes to say, teacher, like, I miss you, and all those stuff. That makes me feel happy, proud of myself, because I feel, I know if this child come to me, I'm their mother, and they are safe if they come here.
Awesome. Wow. So I'm now going to ask you, as an educator and somebody who's been in Educare for a while, what are some of the life lessons, that for you, you've learned of experience that has worked for you, that might work for somebody else that want to say, you know what, I want to start an Educare in Athlone. What do I need to do? Or I want to be an educator or work in an Educare. What can you share with us, life lessons, or what they need to do, or anything?
What we need to do, if you really want to go into this trade, you must have love for children. That is the first thing. And it must be your passion. Because if a child don't feel your love, they're not going to be happy. And you need to have that passion to help the child at all time and to always be there for the child, because we have different characters coming in every day. So at the end of the day, you can be how moody, but you need to have that smile and that joyfulness and the acceptance of just taking the child in. You need to have that. That is the main thing if you want to go into learning children. And patience.
Okay.
You need to have a lot of patience.
And I'm sure as well, you probably have had support from your mom and other family members, with when you first started.
Yes.
So will that be an essential thing to have?
Yes, you need to have support from your family, because even if it was like functions, my family was my support. When it comes to decorating a wall or doing things, because I started off when my children was little, and then I can't still go pay a nanny to take care of them.
So were they in your Educare?
They were in my Educare.
Okay.
And then my husband, he was very supportive. He kept them, looked after them, because they can't be running after me if I'm busy doing something. So family support is also very, very, very important. Also, if you have your support from your family, then your business also goes good, because they understand the loopholes, they understand the difficulties, they understand, they have patience as like you have, because there's a lot of times when if my children come from school now, they do their homework and all those things. They're not in my Educare now because they're all grown up, all three of them. Yeah. So sometimes they will say, Mommy, the creche children get more of your time. So that's why I would always explain to my parents as well. Also, if my ECD center closes at 5, that's my family time, because I'm already committing my whole life to your children. So respect me when it comes to my family time as well.
Correct. That's interesting. hope you've been inspired listening and hearing the stories of these wonderful two South African women who are doing good deeds in the community. Lady Thabang shared the calling upon her life and how she's managed through various ways to address the challenges, from the technical challenges she has, running the radio program and in her foundation and all what she does within the community. And, the fact that she values kindness, most. And Miss Zulaiga, what a young, powerful South African woman, unknown, to so many, and who is doing so many in the educational field. Challenges sometimes are where parents can't afford to pay for the Educare, but she manages somehow to cover up for them. And for her, our joy is seeing the young children always happy. That's what makes her happy as well. We celebrate you two wonderful ladies as we continue to celebrate South African women and women generally all over Africa. Till next time, this is Magma K saying, stay safe, stay blessed, love you all. God is love. Till next time.